Hi everybody, I'm Robert Hines, aka Don Nelson from MetalAlbumGun.com, and I'm really excited and honoured to stay here with Kirk Windstein from Crowbar.
Thanks for having me, man.
Anytime, man, anytime. So, at the moment you're still promoting the Serpent Only Vice, which was released about a year ago, was that right?
About a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that the dust has settled on that, how do you see it settling in with the rest of Crowbar's catalogue?
I mean, we love it. I think it's a really strong record. That was the 11th record. It gets to the point where after a while, it's like people say, like children, you love all your children the same, just in a different way, maybe. Or what? I only have one daughter, so stepchildren, but anyway. I think it fits perfectly. I think it's a great representation of where Crowbar were at a year and a half ago. We try to bring in a few new elements with each record, but still stay true to the Crowbar sound. So we're really happy with it.
Cool, man. And it's only recently as well that Todd's returned to the band, so relatively recently.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. But
yeah. Does he fit back in?
We love it. The first rehearsal was great. He's great on stage. He's great, it's cool because we started the whole thing together. Me and Jimmy Bauer, and it was just us three, really. So it's definitely cool. We enjoyed playing with the other guys we've had, but having time back is great, and we just keep rolling.
Absolutely. I'd imagine he's had to do a bit of homework himself with all the albums that have been released.
Yeah, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like the first 6 of the 11 or something, I think he was part of. But like a band like us, we don't play 2.5-hour sets or anything. We play an hour and 15 minutes tops normally. So, but we know we have quite a few songs down that we can pick up at any moment. And of course, he brushing up on like any older shit that we haven't played since the old days is very simple for him. He's solid as fuck, so it's easy for him to quickly pick shit up.
Awesome. Now, obviously, Crowbar's always been there. It's been releasing albums every few years all the time. There's a lot of bands that have taken quite long breaks. I think the longest you had was about 6 years, maybe, in between albums. But
that's mainly, honestly, because of Down. With Down in 2001, when we recorded the Down 2 record, everybody kind of said, you know what, let's make this our priority, and we all did. And then, we still did stuff with Crowbar, but Down was so busy, and we were busy with a little bit with King of Sorrow and stuff here and there. But when I made the commitment to say, look, I'm going to concentrate on only Crowbar, well, we haven't stopped at all, which is great. It's of course when something is kind of been set aside for a while. When you first come back, it's like, wow, So now we're kind of just back in the groove, back in the saddle, so to speak. But still, it's fantastic. These shows we've had. This tour has been really great. The Roadburn Festival was incredible. These shows with Converge have been great. So we're happy to be where we're at this far into our career. It's 29 years and 11 records, and looking for record number 12. So we started probably before the end of the year.
Nice. It was only the other day you played Roadburn. Was it just literally about last week?
What's today? Thursday? It was Friday.
Oh, there you go. 6 days ago.
Yeah.
So, good experience?
Yes. Different because we did, it's 20th anniversary of Oddfellows Rest, so we did the Oddfellows Rest record in its entirety, which was different because, like we're all saying, we opened the record, we played the intro off the iPod, and then we break directly in Planets Collide, the opening track, which is something that's usually way further into the set. But it was a blast, a lot of fun, and it was, for us, it was very successful and a very special moment, to do it.
So that's just the one-off in Oddfellows Rest?
Well, we'll see. We might do one at home in New Orleans for a New Orleans show in early August, and you know, well, it was fun. You know, now that we've done one, it makes it a lot easier. If we feel we want to pick up and do it again, we can do it.
Yeah.
There you go, Rocco, the new lid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a new one.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I was speaking to Ben from Goatwall last month, and I asked him something, and I'll ask you the same. New Orleans is renowned worldwide for its music and just for being more or less the party capital of the world. What to you makes New Orleans so special?
A combination of all of it. I mean, it's basically the whole vibe of New Orleans is eat, drink, and be merry, and it's you know, you throw in how big of a music town it is, how people come from all over the world to, you know, it's just one of those, like, in fact, this is a good analogy. We were riding from Manchester to London today. My wife, who tours with us, does merchandise over here, she said, so London's kind of like the New Orleans of Louisiana. Like, exactly, it's like all of Louisiana's great, in southern Louisiana especially for us. You know, we enjoy that, but New Orleans is just someone that sticks out as something totally different. And I mean, you know, it's the same thing. London's completely different than the rest of England, at least to me. But yeah, it's a combination of everything. It's like people, for the most part, are super friendly. They love to have fun. You know, that's what it's about. I mean, it's about, you know, just like I said, eat and drink and be merry. That's the whole vibe. You know, the food's unbelievable. You know, it's 24-hour drinking if you want, whatever. So it's just
ladies.
It's just got a great vibe. I mean, I've been to 46 countries now, and God knows how many hundreds and hundreds of cities. And I mean, it's still my favorite city.
Cool. I mean, London is a little bit like New Orleans there in the sense of the unbelievable food, but for a completely different reason.
Yeah.
But people eat this shit? What the fuck?
Hey, I eat pretty much anything, man. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned a bit about leaving down to concentrate on Crowbar, and you also brought up Kingdom of Sorrow. Is Kingdom of Sorrow put to bed now, or can you see in the future?
Well, JB's doing a tour called Josta and Friends that I'm going to jump on later in August. It's very short. It's like 12 days, 12, 13, 14 days. But we're going to do a few Kingdom of Sorrow songs, and, you know, with me at least, maybe like 3 Kingdom songs and 1 Crowbar song, and then he's going to do a lot of his Josta solo stuff, do some Hatebreed stuff, and if I'm not mistaken, Dino from Fear Factory is coming along as well. They're going to do some stuff with him, so it'll be interesting. But as far as a record from Kingdom, we'd like to do one more, I think, you know, or who knows. But, you know, it's right now, I mean, Jamie's got so much going on. He's like one of the hardest working, busiest guys there is. And for me, between Crowbar and family, you know, I'm just trying to be a family man at home or whatever. My life is full, so, you know, right now I don't see an opportunity. But, you know, I would love to do it. And obviously, if we're going to be doing some live stuff over, I think we're playing Bloodstock or something.
I saw Jester on the lineup of Bloodstock.
Okay, that's what it is.
So that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I
think we even have a London show. But yeah.
I would hazard a guess then that the Crowbar song "Be All I Had I Gave" since Hatebreed covered that.
Yeah, they did a cover of it, and I mean it's one that, you know, I mean, obviously the fans know it, but you know, when we had toured with Kingdom in the past, we always would throw in. We usually do "Last Breath" by Hatebreed. We do "All I Had" by Crowbar, and do Kingdom stuff, and you know, whatnot. But yeah, so I don't. It'll be fun. But as far as, you know, record, there's no plans anytime soon. But, you know, I'm sure at some point in time we'd like to do another one.
Cool, man. Well, obviously Crowbar is kind of been known for pioneering what they call sludge metal. I can't really think of any other bands that have that tag, to be honest. But
Me either.
so, I mean, where do you think the sound comes from? Is it just naturally what comes, or just?
I mean, it was a, you know, it was a conscious decision to play the style, to create the style of music that we created. Like, to me, I agree. I don't even know where sludge came from. We didn't make it up. It's just heavy music, you know. But I mean, we're our own thing. You know, like there's a thing called the New Orleans scene, the New Orleans sound, and all this. And it's true, and it's like, you know, none of the bands sound alike, but they all, and none of us can put a finger on it, but they all have something in common.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we set out to do Crowbar, it was supposed to be exactly what it is. You know, it was like we wanted to, you know, very few bands in the world at the time were this is way before the 7-string thing started getting popular and all of that. And we you know, we basically stole a lot of ideas from Carnivore, Pete Steele, and then the first Typo record. We all had a demo of before the band was even named Typo. I think we all had a demo of
Sub-Zero.
Yeah, I think it was Sub-Zero. And Phil and Selma made copies for us, like keep it on the download. It was, you know, that was when we were writing Crowbar, like Carnivore Retaliation came out in '87. You know, basically by early '89, I'd already been playing with Jimmy Bauer and Todd came aboard. So we had, you know, we were really into Carnivore, all of us, big time. And like Melvins were a huge influence as well. And it was really a conscious thing to just say, you know. And then we started getting a lot into, because that was at that time, you know, like Carnivore, for instance, had a ton. Retaliation's basically almost a hardcore record with Black Sabbath parts, and you know, and a lot of melodies mixed in with all the aggression and everything. But we started, you know, getting in. Me and Todd especially started getting big time in all the, you know, the New York hardcore scene and the East Coast hardcore scene and stuff. And we literally did the Agnostic Front covers and everything else. You know, we were in all the early Sick of It All, you know, early Cro-Mags, Agnostic, like I said, you know, everybody. You know, that was a big part of it too. Like our sound was going to be similar to what Carnival were doing, where, you know, we would have really slow, you know, down-tuned, melodic, heavy fucking stuff mixed with hardcore and stuff. So we still have a good mixture of that. You know, in the very beginning of the writing stuff, it was a lot more of it was really slow, just for the sake of being really slow, because everything else at the time was, you know, thrash.
I've heard Cathedral say the same thing.
Yeah,
just be the antithesis.
Yeah, just do something. Yeah, that's kind of like, you know, with them and the grind stuff, it was kind of like us and the thrash stuff, and death metal and whatnot. We were just like, you know what? Let's just, not that we don't love all that stuff, but let's just do something completely opposite. Yeah. And it made us original, and to this day, I think that we still are original. I mean, I don't like I don't mind the term sludge, but I just think it's Crowbar. Yeah. You say, what do you call the Melvins? I mean, it's just there's only one Melvins, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
They're great. They do their own thing. They do whatever they want to do, and it's all pretty amazing. And you know, so that's what we try to follow, that same formula, whatever. Just do our own thing, be our own band. You know, you never. There's peaks and valleys in this industry, and there's times where, you know, the band's bigger at some point, and then you don't hear about it, but we've never gone away, and that's the whole point. It's the same thing with Melvins. We were never interested in being a household name or being super popular or whatnot. It was just, we wanted longevity, which we are blessed to have, and we wanted to be us, be Crowbar, and do our own thing. And you know, I truly believe that we've accomplished that, and we'll continue to build on it.
Cool. I know you're a big lover of the real old school heavy metal and hard rock, UFO, Saxon.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
And UFO.
Some there, some not.
Oh yeah.
So why was it a conscious decision then to go more the Carnival route than those bands at the time?
The thing is at that time, even a lot of, you know, a lot of my favorite straight up, you know, new wave of British heavy metal, or even a band like Accept, which are German, of course, but they're one of my, you know, favorite bands of all time. And you know, the Saxons and Motorheads and whatnot. It was, I mean, all that started for me. I'm 53 years old, and all that started for me in high school. So I graduated high school in 1983. So I mean, you know, by that time, Priest and Maiden and Saxon, and of course Motorhead had been out for a good while by then. I remember getting, I was big time in the early Twisted Sister. And I, getting trading demo tapes with my friend Big Jerry at school, and having like Angel Witch on one side and Twisted Sister under the Blade on the other, and just doing cassette copy stuff, just getting into different shit. And I loved all that stuff, and I guess after a few years of it, it was kind of by discovering new things like wow, Carnivore, or wow, the low tuning stuff and everything. It brought something different into it for us. But there's really not that many bands that kind of do that type of thing. Well, it's difficult to describe because, like, to me, we're talking about tuning low, playing slow, having hardcore parts or whatever. It's similar but completely different than like I Hate God, for instance, where they tune low, they play slow. Their upbeat stuff's more punkish. They have much more of a. To me, they're just a very raw blues, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Very heavy, but blues rock and roll band.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that are similar, but then they're not. We're much more metal. Where they're much more punk type. Attitude and style of it. But I still have a love of all of my old school. In fact, my favorite two new records by bands are probably the new Priest and the new Saxon.
I haven't heard the new Saxon.
It's
Firepower is fucking amazing.
Yeah, Firepower is really, really amazing. The new Saxon too. We heard it one time. Danny bought it and we cranked it up, and I was blown away. It's really powerful too. And first date of our tour with Hatebreed, right before we did this tour, Matt and I listened to Firepower twice, I think, or something in a row. The whole thing, I hadn't heard any of it, and I was just like, oh my god, this is like amazing. And we were doing an interview earlier with EMP, and we were talking, talking about these bands putting out these amazing records this far into their career and this at their age, and it's very inspiring for us to keep rolling. In fact, I was talking when we were on tour with Soulfly. Me and Max were talking, and he was saying something about seeing ZZ Top at a festival, and he's like, Kirk, man, he's like, they were killer. He goes, when you look at it, it gives you hope. Like, wow, you can do this.
Yeah.
You can do this for a long time. I mean, when I was a kid, to think that guys in their 60s, approaching 70 years old, would still be touring the world and putting out killer records and playing at the top of their game and still having all their chops and everything else. I would tell you you're fucking crazy if you told me that. If you would have told me in high school Judas Priest was still going to be doing it, at this point in time, I would have been like, there's no fucking way, man. They're going to be 65 years old. They'll be retired. Nope.
No, you can't. It seems a little bit strange to be nearly 70 and singing a song like Parental Guidance.
Yeah. I don't know if that was said.
But then the Who, God knows how old now, and they're still singing My Generation.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't the old Hope I Die Before I Get Old didn't happen. So.
What happened to half of it?
Yeah, well, yes, you're correct.
Just about.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I promised a friend I'd ask you this. Who had a greater influence on you, Phil or Pepper?
Phil, because he was involved. Well, even though Down technically started in 1991, I think, Phil produced the self-titled, and he played a big part in showing us, and me in particular, how to arrange songs, and that, like, I remember doing kind of pre-production work, and the original song Existence is Punishment, which we'll be playing tonight, had like 4 parts in it, and at the end of the song he's like, all right, I remember this totally. I'm like, what do you think? And he goes, there's one good riff in the song. And he basically showed us how to write. He goes, all you need, and we still feel that way when we write, all you need is one killer riff, and then you write the song around it. And it's okay if it's only got 2 parts or 3 parts. If you do it and arrange it correctly, you don't need 10 fucking parts in the song.
No.
And I just think that the reason I would say Phil is because he helped so much with where I watched him as a down material unfolded over the years, and when he would be like, all right, no, right here, let's do this, just the way, like he's one of the best arrangers of songs, which that's a, you know, writing riffs is one thing, making it a really good song is another, you know, and you know that's the biggest thing I learned from Phil was how to arrange, you know, to take one killer riff, and once you got that, then you got a song like that, because it kind of writes itself after that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of like Black Sabbath or whatever, you normally think that there's at least one riff in every song. That's how you remember it. You know,
Oh well, that's the money riff, I call it, and that's the one where like that's the big riff. You know, you write it around it and you come back to it, and you know, but it doesn't have to be, you know, like I think in the early days, I think the biggest thing that Phil taught us was, you know, in the early days the songs might have 4 parts, and really a lot of times they were forced together, just like having 4 different, really where it could have been 4 different songs, you know. You only need one, you know, one for the style of music we play. You start with one big riff, one money riff, you know, whatever, and you just write from there. And really, the hard part is coming up with initially with the big riff, but once you have that, the rest of the song normally writes itself.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
for taking
appreciate
the
it,
time.
bro. Absolutely. Thank
All
you.
the best.